I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design, and today I'm up in the studio. It's in the afternoon, probably around 3 o'clock, and it's like 30 degrees outside and overcast, kind of a dull, dreary, fairly warm day, easy on the woodpile. So I'm just going to sit here and talk for a while. I get a lot of emails from people, and I can tell from the emails usually how much backpacking the person has done, and a lot of the emails I'm getting, I'm getting a vibe that a lot of them are newbies. I had someone the other day asking about a stove, and they seemed to be very interested in the Bongo Pro. Now, I kind of got the feeling like they were a newbie, and if you were a newbie, I don't think a Bongo Pro would be the way to go, because there's some things about that require some skill level and some knowledge of alcohol. So I pointed them towards a BIOS or a 12 centimeter cook kit. They had a pot that it was stainless steel, and it wasn't exactly the best pot in the world, and they live in a foreign country, and they didn't have access to a lot of hardly any backpacking supplies. So anyway, for those type of people who are newbies and need a cooking system, I recommend a 12 centimeter cook kit, because it comes with a 12 centimeter pot with a lid, which is important. It comes with a windscreen. It comes with a BIOS 5 stove, very simple, easy to use hot stove, and it comes with a handle wrap for the pot so you won't burn your fingers. So that's the one I recommend for. And after you have that for a while, then if I was going to go from there to a wick stove, I'd go with a wick stove intro kit, which comes with a original bongo with the original bongo top, which is just a medium heat top, with a safety base, so that if you overfill it, it'll just run into the base and won't catch anything on fire. And for an 8-ounce nipple cap with an 8-ounce bottle. So you basically have everything you need except fuel and a lighter for a heat source. Of course, you're going to need a pot. You can buy a 10 or a 12 centimeter pot. For the Bongo Original, I'd probably go with a 10 centimeter pot, probably be the better choice of the two. And it comes with a big chunk of wick, so you can make different length wicks. If you make a wick that comes up out of the top 3/4 of an inch, you've got a fairly hot stove for regular just boiling water. And if you have another wick that's right level with the top of the original Bongo top, it's just about right for baking or simmering. Nice little stove. And it's a good one to learn fuel flow and how to get it to burn real hot, or how to get it to just simmer. That's a good stove for that. Now, someone else asked me about a stove, and I told them that I thought a 12 centimeter cook kit would be the best stove for them if they weren't going to simmer or bake. And they emailed me back and said, if you're doing dehydrated meals and rehydrating them, you need to simmer. So I know they obviously have never used a rehydrated meal before. So I'll just read the instructions here. It says, open package at tear notch. Tear notch is right there. Discard oxygen absorber from pouch. There's a little packet inside that soaks up all the oxygen for preservation. Carefully add 2 cups, 16 ounces of boiling water to pouch. This is a pouch. Once you tear the top off, it has a nice Ziploc. It has a stand-up bottom on it that opens up so it'll stand right up. Put your water right in there. Stir thoroughly. That's important to get everything off the bottom, get it all suspended. And close the zipper. That's a regular top, Ziploc top. Close zipper. Let stand 8 or 9 minutes. Stir and serve. For your convenience, eat right out of the pouch. That's all there is to it. There's no simmer to it. Just bring the water to a boil. Pull this top off. Open it up. Put the water in. Stir it. Ziploc it closed. I prefer to put it put a sweatshirt over it, or put it in a cozy, or put it under your sleeping bag or something to give it a little extra insulation. But you don't have to. if it's fairly warm weather, it'll rehydrate just fine, just right out in the open. In fact, I probably shouldn't use a sweatshirt because lots of times once I open it up, after 10 minutes, I have to wait for it to cool down, cool enough so I can eat it. But that's the story on those. You don't need to simmer. So if you have a 12 centimeter cook kit, that would be ideal for these rehydrated meals or anything that you want to rehydrate, even if you are doing it with a dehydrator. And that brings up another point. Many foods you can rehydrate them right at home and make your own dehydrated meals. The other day I used corn. About any kind of canned corn you can dry. I don't know whether you can dry fresh corn or not. I've never tried it. I think you'd want to cook it first, but I really don't know. If somebody does know, chime in on that. You can even do hamburger. If you buy the leanest hamburger you can get your hands on, cook it thoroughly, put it in a colander and drain all the moisture out of it. And here's the point where I don't, but a lot of people do. From there I just pat it with paper towel, put it on paper towel and roll it out and get all the moisture out of it, and then put it in the dehydrator. Some people run hot water over it to get all the fat out of it. But I personally feel that by doing that, you wash a lot of the flavor right out with it. And I haven't had any trouble with it spoiling once it was in a vacuum sealed bag. I use a vacuum sealer, seal a meal and put whatever I want, an ounce or 2 ounces in it and seal it. I think a pound of lean hamburger, once it's dehydrated, only weighs a couple ounces. It probably maybe a cup, weighs a couple ounces. And it's really good meals. If you were making a meal, say you were going to have mashed potatoes, mashed potatoes, you put your water in, put a little extra in, put in a quarter of a cup of dried hamburger, what we call hamburger gravel, because it looks like gravel once it's dehydrated. Quarter of a cup of corn, anything else that you've dehydrated, onions or peppers or anything, and let it rehydrate in the boiling water. And then just put your potatoes right in and stir it up, and it's a one-pot meal. And you can make some pretty darn tasty meals that, in my opinion, are a lot better than these, although these are pretty darn good. And I think they're just better for you. I think your system tends to assimilate them a lot better than these meals. These meals if you eat these meals for 3 or 4 days, they can be kind of hard on the digestive tract. And you get tired of, there's something in them, I don't know what it is, that you just get to the point where, dehydrated, yuck. It's like eating candy until you make yourself sick. And I don't know why they're that way. It's just the way the body assimilates them. And they aren't kind to the digestive tract. We'll just leave it right there. Now, if you do want to do more diverse cooking, you can go to an atomic, which is in between a simmer stove and a full-blown bio stove. But the heat, you've seen me cook pancakes with it. And I think you could probably, if you had a 12 centimeter pot and had it pretty well full with liquid, I think you could simmer it just fine with this. You wouldn't want to try to simmer, just a cup of, but I think if you had 20 ounces in it, you could simmer it just fine. If you're cooking for a group, you'd probably have that much and it would simmer just fine. Now, somebody left a comment saying that all, keyword being all, and I'd like to address the word all. When you say all, you're immediately wrong, because when you say all, that's an absolute. All means every single one, no, just all, every one of them, and you can't do that. So when they said all alcohol stoves were narrow and tippy, and all alcohol stoves, if you tip them over, will spill alcohol and start a fire. Okay, some will do that. The BIOS, if you tip it over and it's full of alcohol, you'll spill alcohol, which is really not that big. If you're in a tent or something, yeah, but if you're in a shelter or something with a hardwood floor or on the ground, it's not that big a deal. Alcohol is not that big a deal. Put out just a little bit of water and it's gone. But you wouldn't want to do it in an enclosed place. The atomic, this is an atomic. It's not a carbon filter, but the atomic carbon felt, the mini atomic carbon felt, and all of the wick stoves, the Bongo Pro, Bongo Original, M2SB, all of those, even the simple stove, if you tip it over, it won't spill any alcohol. The flames will keep coming right out the jets and it'll continue to burn, but it won't spill alcohol anywhere because it's all trapped in the carbon felt inside of the stove and it can't run out. That's one of the beauties of a carbon felt stove. One of the drawbacks is that when you get done cooking, if you've added too much alcohol to the stove and you've added more than you're going to need, you can't pour it out and pour it back into the bottle. It's trapped in the carbon felt. But you'll find out that if it does have a lot of alcohol absorbed in the carbon felt, without even doing anything with it, just leaving it right out to the air, like this atomic, it'll go 3 or 4 days before the alcohol evaporates out of it, maybe longer than that. There isn't enough area in the jets for it to get, unless it gets hot, to get much evaporation out of it. Okay, and one other thing, if you do buy an atomic or a mini atomic, make sure you're for a pot stand, because you will need a pot stand with it. You will with most of the wick stoves also, so pay attention that you get a pot stand. Now, if you've got a really small pot, I'd go with a 5x18. If you've got a bigger pot, 4 or 5 inches, I'd go with a 5x23. But with the atomic, you have to go with a 5x23 because a 5x18 won't slide down over it. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, try to have some fun today, and try to have a really great day. Bye-bye.